Welcome to tonight's video on future value, saving money for the future. Future value is going to be a type of interest where you're making regular deposits. Unlike compound interest, where compound interest you deposit a certain amount of money and you let it stay there and you don't do anything. Future value, you make regular deposits. And that's the big R here. That's the difference between compound interest and the difference between future value and compound interest. The formulas here, FV stands for the future value of the investment. How much are you trying to get? The big R is the regular deposits. The little r is the annual interest rate. The K is the number of compoundings for the interest per year, and T is the number of years. One of the things, the deposits need to be in terms of the compoundings. So if I tell you I deposit $1,200 in an account every year, but the interest is compounded quarterly, that means I need to take $1,200 and divide it by 4, and that means I put $300 per quarter. Or if it's monthly, I'll take the $1,200 and divide it by 12, so I put in $100 per month. And if it's daily, I'll take the $1,200 and divide by 365, and it's $3.29 per day. Because if you divide 1,200 divided by 365, you get $3.29 right there. All right. So now that we know that, let's do some problems with future value. So how much money does Kenny invest in every month into an account that pays 7.75% interest compounded monthly to save $35,000 in 5 years? So $35,000 is the future value. You're trying to figure out how much he pays every month. The rate is 7.75 or 0.0775. Compounded monthly, so that's 12. And it's 5 years. So you write everything in the equation. So 35,000 equals, you don't know what the big R is, but you know it's 1 plus 0.0775 divided by 12 to the 12 times 5 power minus 1 all over 0.0775 divided by 12. So now, because we're solving for the amount of regular deposits, we're going to take all of this stuff here, and I'm not going to rewrite it, and we're going to divide by 35,000 to get R by itself. So when you type this in your calculator, it should look like this. So it's 35,000 divided by. Now for future value, you need 3 parentheses, not 4, 3. And then you go 1 plus, now I got to remember the rate, 0.0775 divided by 12. Close the first parenthesis, only 1, raised to the 12 times 5 power, then get it down from there. There you go. Minus 1. Close that parenthesis, divided by, then parenthesis, 0.0775 divided by 12, close that parenthesis, and then close the whole thing. When you hit enter, you get $479.46, because remember, you round up to the nearest cent. So that means it's $479.76 that he invests per month to make that money. Now, this problem's slightly different. Same numbers, but now it says it's compounded weekly. So it's compounded weekly. So the future value is $35,000. You still don't know what the deposits are. The rate is 0.0775. It's compounded weekly, so that's 52 times for 5 years. So now your equation looks like this. So you type it in. So now this is going to be in weeks. So when you find it in weeks and you want to figure out how much you invested every month, you're going to multiply by 4. So let's type it in. So now I'm not going to retype because I can come in here and hit enter and just change all the 12s to 52s. So all the 12s in the original, oh, I lost it. There you go. I just need to change to 52s. There you go. And then I hit enter. So it means $110.32. That's what R is equal to per week. So that's what I found here. So remember, I divided. Now it says per month. So to get per month, I take $110.32 and times it by 4. Oh, and 32 cents. $441.28. So that's how much per month that they would spend, or that they would deposit. All right, so the last problem, you're going to find the rate. So it says if $450 is deposited into account, so that's your deposit every month, then what rate compounded monthly will yield $60,000, so that's the future value, in 8 years compounded monthly. So when you write this equation, you get 60,000 equals, and then you have 1 plus R over 12 to the 12 times 8 power minus 1 over R divided by 12. So here you're solving for the rate. Now because there are 2 variables here and one of them's raised to a power, we can't solve this algebraically, unlike when it's compound interest and there's only 1 R. So what we have to do is use the graphing feature on our calculator. So remember, y sub 1, so when you try to graph it on your calculator, when you hit y equals, I'll clear it, y sub 1 is the left-hand side. So in this case, it's 60,000. Y sub 2 is the right-hand side. I forgot the big R there. So it's going to be x. Actually, sorry, I forgot the 460. Yeah. So it's going to be 460. Then the three parentheses, 1 plus x divided by 12, parenthesis, to the 12 times 8 power minus 1, parenthesis, divided by x over 12, parenthesis, close parenthesis. So now we're going to type that in. So here's the 60,000. Okay. And then 450, I believe. 460. Sorry. Parenthesis, parenthesis, parenthesis. 1 plus x divided by 12, parenthesis, raised to the 12 times 8 power, minus 1, parenthesis, divided by, parenthesis, x divided by 12, parenthesis, parenthesis. All right. Now when you hit graph, it may not show up for you. So if it doesn't show up, like here it doesn't show up, I have to hit the window. So notice when you do the window, okay, when you do the window, the x minimum, x maximum, because it's a rate, so the minimum is 0, the maximum is 100% or 1. So that's fine right here. The y minimum, because we're talking about money, $0, but the y maximum should always be greater than the left-hand side. So the y1. So since the y1 is 60,000, we'll make it 70,000. Don't do 60,001, make it a couple thousand bigger. So we have to do 70,000 here. Okay. So everything else stays the same. So now we hit graph, and notice that you have two lines that intersect. So now you have to find the intersection. Don't just scroll over. You're going to have to go second, trace, intersect, which is number 5, and then hit enter 3 times. So I'll show you. You go second, trace. See, it says calculate. You want to do number 5. So you hit number 5, or you scroll down to number 5. I don't know why it did that. Oh, we're going to have to start over. Graph it. Thank you. All right, let's do it again. Second, trace, number 5. Okay, now it asks you a question. It says first curve, don't worry about it, just hit enter. Second curve, don't worry about it, hit enter. Guess, you don't want to guess, just hit enter. And notice it gives you the intersection. So now the intersection is 0.074. So 0.074 that's the rate. So the rate is equal to 7.4%. So that's the rate that you're going to need. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a good evening.